Hey guys, it's me, Vinny Lospinuso. I'm back with another vlog. Now, before I do my predictions for week 3, I need to give my recap for week 2 because sort of like how it was in 2019, I want to try to make this a weekly tradition that I want to get in the rhythm of, where I get at least a preview and a recap for each week. So, in terms of my week 2 score, I went 9-7, so back-to-back weeks with a winning record, and my overall record so far is 17-14-1. I do not pick against the spread. I only pick winners and losers in this one. First off, I was correct in choosing the Kansas City Chiefs to defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. It was a very hard-fought match. I almost thought that Justin Herbert would get hurt, but he stayed in the game, even though Chase Daniel kind of came in for a snap. But the Chiefs won. AFC West looks like it's going to be between these two teams. For the 1 o'clock games, I had the Carolina Panthers beat the New York Giants. The Giants are 2-0 now. They defeated the Carolina Panthers. Back-to-back times, it was from a one-score game. Now, I don't think the Giants are a playoff team or anything, but they're beating the teams they need to beat. Like, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be a Giant next season, but hey, it's very scrappy start so far. I also picked the Cleveland Browns to beat the New York Jets. I was wrong on that as well. Joe Flacco, almost like 2012 Joe Flacco again, having a comeback victory against the Browns, who they're going to be playing tonight against the Steelers. I'm going to have that prediction in the next video. But, the Browns are still a scrappy team, even without Deshaun Watson. Jets, they're going to be last in their division more than likely, but it shows that they could at least fight with, a matchup. If it wasn't for the performance of Tua, I would have won this game. The Ravens were fantastic against the Dolphins, but then they allowed, a double-digit point lead against the Dolphins to come all the way back and win. Tua had 6 touchdowns and over 450 passing yards. He was exceptional. And I think the Dolphins are looking like a real deal playoff team. And Mike McDaniel, assuming it's going to be between the Bills and the Dolphins for that division. That's what it's going to come down to, the Bills and the Dolphins. And this week is going to be so exciting. And I was correct in picking the Detroit Lions against the Washington Commanders. I think the Lions are a really competitive team, a nice, really young competitive team. Commanders, they're not winning that division. They could be competitive, but I don't see them really going anywhere. My biggest loss here was having the Colts win against the Jaguars. The Colts got absolutely decimated. The Jaguars, I hate saying this, but they so far look like the best team in the AFC South, which is funny considering I don't think any of the teams in the AFC South are really that good. The offensive line was really bad for the Colts. The wide receiver core was out, and Matt Ryan looked kind of old. I hope this isn't it for him. But let's see, at least he's 6 all-time in completions now. I also picked the Saints to beat the Buccaneers for the 5th time in the regular season in a row. That didn't happen. The Bucs finally realized the 5th time was a charm, and they defeated the Saints after being down 3-0 for a lot of the game. And then I also picked but fortunately, I finished with the 1 o'clock games by picking the Patriots over the Steelers correctly on the road. The Patriots have the Steelers' number. Belichick has Tomlin's number. And after their loss against the Dolphins, I figured that the Patriots would get the win that they had to. Well, they did. I still think the Steelers are going to be good, though. Still not having TJ Watt, that's gonna be a big issue for them going forward. Now for the 4 o'clock games, it was close, but I hung out and I had the Rams beating the Falcons, which they did in fact do. The Falcons actually were almost going to come back down 28-3, but Mariota didn't play that well down the stretch, and Jalen Ramsey called game. And then you had the San Francisco 49ers beating the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, Trey Lance got hurt. He's done for the season. They are very, very fortunate to have Jimmy Garoppolo there, because without him, their season would be over. Now their season probably has a bit of a better chance to make the playoffs again. I know that's a very sad thing to say, but it is true. Then the Bengals got upset by the Cowboys with Cooper Rush as their quarterback. So back-to-back weeks, the Bengals lose. They lost to the Steelers, by a field goal. They lose to the Cowboys by a field goal. And the line of the Bengals looks worse, as well as Burrow's pocket awareness. It also has gotten worse. So are the Bengals going to make the playoffs this year? I don't know. Like, that's the AFC, I think, is so loaded. And I think the Ravens are easily the best team in that division. I don't think they're going to win their division, but I don't know if there'd be a wild card either. I picked the Broncos to beat the Texans, but it should not have been a hard-fought game for the Broncos. They are struggling on coaching. I would not be shocked if they miss the playoffs. Nathaniel Hackett gets shown the door. He has not been doing good for his play callings thus far. And then for my final 4 o'clock game, I had the Raiders beat the Cardinals. It looked like that would be the case, but alas, the Cardinals came back and won in overtime fashion, and the Raiders are now 0-2 to start the season. Yikes. For the Sunday night game, I had the Bears getting trounced by the Packers, and that's exactly what happened. Another Packers-Bears game on Sunday night. Another Packers victory. Then for the Monday night game, Monday night games, because for the only time this season there is a not even back-to-back, simulcasted Monday night games. For the first one, the Bills destroyed the Titans, and I picked that, thankfully. The Bills, I think I undersold them. I picked them to win the Super Bowl, and I feel pretty confident about that with each week goes on. Titans, I don't know if they're going to win their division. Like I said, the AFC South looks to be the weakest. I still think the Colts will probably win the division at the end of the day, but I need to see more out of that offensive line, and Ryan's also got to play better too. And I love Ryan to pieces. I really do, but the South is wide open. And then finally, the other Monday night game, I had the Eagles beating the Vikings, and Jalen Hurts showed up like an MVP candidate. He was exceptional, and Kirk Cousins did not. He looked like he was a deer in the headlights, and it looked like he was going to throw to Darius Slay all day, any day. So as for my biggest winners, Bills, again, they continue to prove even their biggest supporters wrong. The fact they're just really, really good. I would say the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate, in my opinion. And, seeing how the Giants are, even though it's early, hey, what if they threaten to make a playoff run? You never know. And as for my biggest losers, I mean, the Colts, obvious one, getting shut out against the Jaguars. They've not won in Jacksonville since 2013, 2014. It's been a very, very long time. And the Jags have just handled the Colts every single time they go down there. It's embarrassing. The Raiders, I mean, you blew your lead against the Cardinals. Ridiculous. And then for my final loser, I would say Trey Lance. I'm so sad that he's out hurt, and it's going to really stunt his development. But, fortunately for the 49ers, they have Jimmy Garoppolo there. But thanks, guys. That's my thoughts on week 2. Next video, I'm going to explain my thoughts on what's going to happen in week 3. So see you then.